The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. Danny Gibson here with Dick Girardi. We are up on the 3rd floor studio here at Parks Racing. On today's show, we had 2 Pennsylvania bred stakes races, the Unique Bella and the Paige McKinney Handicap, plus top racing around the country at Oaklawn, Santa Anita, and Keeneland. But we're all thinking about the Kentucky Derby. It's just 1 week away, and Todd Pletcher is coming in with a really strong hand. He's got Forte, the 2-year-old champion, and the big gray Tapit Trice.
Yeah, I think it's the strongest hand he's ever brought to the Derby, and that's saying a lot, given that Todd has won it a couple of times and he's over 60 lifetime starters. But yeah, he's got the winner of the Bluegrass, he's got the winner of the Florida Derby, he's got the winner of the Louisiana Derby. Other than that, he doesn't have too much happening.
Well, he's been a busy man, but here's more with Todd Pletcher on his Derby hopefuls.
Tapit Trice started out, went a half. Good steady breeze throughout, was on the bridle, traveling well in hand, seemed to get over the track really comfortably. Sometimes when you come in here, you'll see horses kind of bobble a little bit and the ground will break away from them. And I thought in Tapit Trice's case and Forte's, they were perfect.
How much improvement have you seen, and how would we judge it, in Forte from he's 2 for 2 at 3, and then he was a Breeders' Cup and Eclipse champion at 2? I mean, are you seeing the progression, and how's that manifesting itself?
Well, I mean, if you kind of look at his progression number-wise, if you're a sheet follower, he's kind of made those little steps forward each start. Same thing with Tapit Trice, and what I'm encouraged by with both of them is that how they handled the mile and 1/8, how they finished in their final preps going a mile and 1/8 gives you confidence that they'll continue to improve stretching out.
Well, we know Todd's going to have a strong hand, but there's some international players. The Japanese horses are looking awful impressive.
Yeah, I just watched the workout this morning. We're taping Wednesday morning, Danny, of Derma Sotagache. I'm hoping I say that right. The UAE Derby winner worked with the other Japanese horse. It could not have been any more impressive. I mean, it was just like flying through the lane. So I remember you and I saw one live last year, a Japanese horse going crazy. Didn't really get a chance to run. I guess got caught up in that crazy pace, but I think this horse is live.
Well, hey, they won the Breeders' Cup. They're starting to figure out our U.S. racing style.
Yes, they are.
They're going to be a big player this year, I have a feeling.
No doubt.
Another one I'm excited about is the Pennsylvania bred Angel of Empire for trainer Brad Cox. We have a feature later. Bruce Casella went out to Blackstone Farm where he was bred and born, and we're going to have more on that coming up on the show.
We're trying to have our 3rd ever Pennsylvania bred win the Derby.
Little E.T. and Smarty Jones.
I think Smarty Jones. Remember him, 2004?
Well, let's talk about some Pennsylvania breds that ran right here at Parks. We had our first PA bred stakes races last Monday. We're going to start with the Unique Bella for our fillies and mares, 7 furlongs. $100,000 is the purse, and Butch Reed had a strong showing in here. He's got 3 horses, including the favorite Disco Ebo.
Yeah, I thought he looked good, Danny, before they scratched 3 of the 7 horses, but now there are 4 left. Butch has 3 of them, and as you said, including the favorite Disco Ebo, who is 3 to 10. Morning Macho, second in the cotillion last year, is the second favorite at 9 to 5, and she absolutely loves it here at Park. 6 starts, 4 wins.
Well, she sure does. Here is the Unique Bella.
Just about 2.5 lengths covers this field from tip to tail. Disco Ebo through an opening quarter, 23-4. Bearing down right outside on her flank. Trolley Ride holding her position in second. Morning Macho, she is eager to move up. She is now moving up into second or third in between. 90% Bryn, but they are chasing Disco Ebo. She has led them every step of the way. There's less than a half mile left to go. Frankie Pennington asks her to extend a little bit more, and Disco Ebo responds. Puts a little bit of daylight between her and her stablemate Morning Macho, who's up into second. 90% Bryn, beginning to make up a little bit of ground as well. Right to her outside. Trolley Ride through a half in 47 flat. Disco Ebo has been in command every step of the way as they round the turn and hit the top of the stretch. Frankie Pennington still sitting pretty chilly, looks under his shoulder for competition. The only ones coming from his barn right to the outside. Morning Macho coming to launch her bid to confront Disco Ebo. And these two titans are locking heads in deep stretch. right, putting her head in front. Morning Matcha. Disco Ebo fights on but can't keep strides with Morning Matcha. Morning Matcha and Paco Lopez. She returns a winner. Morning Matcha gets the win over Disco Ebo.
Morning Matcha got the win. 7 furlongs, a little short for her, but they're expecting a big year from this filly.
Yeah, Butch talked about the Delaware Handicap as the main goal for the summer, and I was really surprised she showed that much speed, that she was that close. I think that says a lot, that if she can show that kind of speed. And I thought Disco Ebo was going to win the whole way around, Danny, and Morning Matcha just went right by. And what's interesting, we're going to show the boys in a second, this race went in 1:25.32, about a half a second faster than the fastest Pennsylvania-bred sprinters around going the next race.
That's really cool. Here's more with our winning connections.
Butch, Morning Matcha off the layoff, a lot of speed. Did you think she'd have that much speed today?
Well, I knew she was doing very well. You know, we had the only other speed horse in the race, so we kind of set up very nicely for her. She came in really fresh, and we're excited for a big year with her. She's put on weight. Her body, physically, she's very mature, and mentally, so we're looking forward to a good year.
Had a great year as a 3-year-old second, I think I could tell you. And you got any races picked out for her?
Right now, we got an eye on the Delaware Handicap, to be honest with you. There's a little prep race down here, I think, called the Obeah, that we'll get a race over the track, and the ultimate goal right now is the Delaware Handicap.
You've been in the game for a while. Have you ever been in a race where 3 of the 4 horses are having those LC Racing Silks, and they're running 1, 2, 3?
No, I don't think I've ever had 3 in the same race, let alone 3 out of 4. So I thought we had a pretty good chance today. So it worked out.
I know owner Glenn Bennett of LC Racing's having a lot of fun, and he's having a lot of fun with his dad, the coach, who they get to enjoy this together.
Right, of course, his dad, the longtime baseball coach at Villanova, and he does come to a lot of the races. And it was especially cool in this race where Glenn got to see his Silks, the LC Racing Silks, on 3 different horses. And they ran 1, 2, 3.
They certainly did. A sight of black and pink that we'll remember for a while. We're going to head to our first break, but we have another Pennsylvania-bred stake coming up, the Paige McKinney, and our feature on Angel of Empire from Blackstone Farm coming up after this break.
Peace and Justice. Lifetime, he sired over 60% winners from starters and nearly 40% 2-year-old winners from starters. His runners have won or placed in nearly 40% of their starts, with average earnings per starter well above his stud fee. In 2022, his progeny won at 14 racetracks in 10 states. Peace and Justice, standing at Blackstone Farm, PA.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, let's get right back into our Pennsylvania bred stakes. It's the $100,000 Paige McKinney. Again, going 7 furlongs. Uncle Ernie for John Services, our 9-5 favorite.
Yeah, I was a little surprised Uncle Ernie was favored. Not that he's not a good horse, because he's obviously a good horse coming up from Gulfstream. I thought Barron would be the favorite off his recent form and how well he's run here, but he's 2-1, so it was close enough. And I will say this, right before the race goes off, I said to our buddy Bruce Casellas, we were about to head out, I said, I don't know if Twisted Ride is going to win or not, but 6-1 is a heck of a price. And I think Bruce might have gotten on his phone and made a bet, possibly, I think, on Twisted Ride for Mike Moore, maybe.
Well, that would be pretty cool. Here's the call to Paige McKinney.
Twisted Ride, he has about half a length over Uncle Ernie. Tracking in third, the veteran Smooth B. Stablemate Barron's moved up into fourth. He is eager to move on a little bit closer. Market Maven in between horses, right to the outside. There's the Gray Witty. There's a gap of 4 or 5 to Classy American. He's beginning to get a little bit distanced. Here comes Prince of Rain. He's making up some ground pretty rapidly. The opening quarter, 23 flat. Twisted Ride has done all of the heavy lifting with the constant presence of Uncle Ernie right to his flank. Right to the outside, Smooth B. To his outside is Witty, and then Barron just biding his time, looking for a hole to open up on the rail. Prince of Rain, after that sustained bid, he might be spinning his wheels a little bit, trying to make up a little bit more ground. The half went in 46-2. At the top of the stretch, it is Twisted Ride. Barron is set down for the drive, right to the outside. Uncle Ernie also giving chase. Prince of Rain trying to make up some ground down the center of the track along with Witty, but Twisted Ride is digging in, trying to hold off Barron. Barron is coming right up the rail. Here comes Uncle Ernie. Twisted Ride looking for the wire. His strides are shortening, but he is trying really hard. Twisted Ride
Oh, what a finish. Twisted Ride, though, gets his nose down for the win. And what a sprinter he's turned into. He won a route race back when he was with Kate DeMasi, now in the Michael Moore barn. One heck of a Pennsylvania-bred sprinter.
Yeah, for sure. That's 4 in a row and 7 out of 14 lifetime. And it was a great finish. And Michael wasn't sure that he won it. Frankly, I wasn't sure either. We were down on the track. Uncle Ernie made this huge run at him on the outside. Barron coming on the inside. Barron, unfortunately, has this habit lately of braking poorly. It happened to him again. He ran a great race, but Twisted Ride, 4 in a row and on a roll for our man Mike Moore. We got a chance to catch up to the connections. Mike, that's a tricky post in that circumstance. Were you concerned about that?
Not so much with him because he breaks quick, you know, and I know Barron's had some problems, you know, coming out of the gate. So he broke real quick, and he looked like you know, when he got the lead right away, he kind of threw his ears up, and Andy kind of had to get after him to pay attention again. That's why I put him back on the lead. But like I've been saying all along, like, he's tough. Like, he gets in front, and you know, they come to him, and he keeps on going. That being said, I didn't know at the end if he let it get too close, because I thought he might have got nailed right there on the wire.
Really fun watching these Pennsylvania-bred sprinters. We'll get to see them the rest of the year. There'll be more races here.
We will, and I wrote about it this week on Let'sGoRacingParks.com.
Yes, you did. And let's talk about more Pennsylvania-breds. In the Kentucky Derby, it's Angel of Empire, and he's really made a name for himself winning in Arkansas, and I'm excited about him.
Yeah, the last Arkansas Derby winner, Pennsylvania-bred, seemed to do rather well in Kentucky. That, of course, would be Smarty Jones. And I do think this horse is live, Danny. I think he's probably no worse than the third choice behind maybe Tapit Trice and Forte, but he's absolutely live, Angel of Empire.
Well, and he's got the right pilot in Flavian Pratt, who we know can get on some horses and win some races. Our very own Bruce Casella went out to Blackstone Farm, where it all began for Angel of Empire.
And Angel of Empire has ranged into the lead here.
When Angel of Empire crossed the finish line as the winner of the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby, one Pennsylvania breeding farm, Blackstone, celebrated with joy.
Angel of Empire wins the Arkansas Derby and wins it clear.
I think my wife thought I kind of had a heart attack because I was jumping up and down like I was 20 years old, and you know, and so it was very exciting, obviously, and very certain degree emotional.
Of course, the Brad Cox trained 3-year-old isn't owned by Blackstone Farm. He was sold for $70,000 as a yearling to the Albaugh family stables. He was a horse you had to take your time with.
There's a lot of other hands than us that these horses have to go through. You know, we have the owners that have to be patient. We have to have a trainer that understands what he has, you know, in front of him. And luckily, we have been fortunate that this horse ended up in some, you know, very special hands, and we're very thankful for that.
He was always a horse that had a, you know, decent body on him, but early on he was just all legs, and we knew he was going to be better around 2 turns. We started him going a mile at Indiana. We liked him that day, and he has improved a tremendous amount throughout the winter. I think he kind of showed that he could play at the top level in the Smarty Jones when he ran second to victory formation, but galloped out really big. And you know, a lot of people noticed that. They said, yeah, this horse going a mile and an eighth and beyond is going to be a serious player, and he's been able to pick up 2 victories, going a mile and an eighth coming into this Derby, and you know, he just looks like a horse that you know, is going to love the mile and an eighth. And somebody in the barn said, you know, we're hopeful he can go a mile and a quarter and can do it quick enough, but he should definitely like the Belmont distance of a mile and a half. So we'll see what happens.
Blackstone Farm is 360 acres of open land in Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. Horses breed here, foal here, some race from here, and like Angel of Empire, sold from here. The Pennsylvania breeding program is one of the best in the country.
Well, I just look back to what happened in 2004 when Smarty won the Arkansas Derby and then went on to win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Things just exploded in Pennsylvania. It's nice to know that you can have a breeding program in which there are going to be some horses that move up and are competitive. You know, we've had Caravel win the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint last year. We've had 3 other Eclipse Award winners. So it's really been a great ride here for PA.
It's a big deal, and it's important for the Pennsylvania breed and Pennsylvania breeders that we can you know, show, you know, the U.S. market that we can actually produce a a very nice horse here. I'm very happy to be a small part of this, and I'm very proud of what we're doing, and I hope all the best for them.
Angel Vampire arrived at Churchill Downs last week. He's training well and will probably be one of the top 4 favorites to win the Run for the Roses. What a day that would be for Blackstone Farm and Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. Bruce Casella for Let's Go Racing.
We're going to get into some national races, and we're going to go to Oaklawn Park in the Grade 2 Oaklawn Handicap. $1 million purse, so it is a big one. They're going to go a mile and 1/8, and our favorite is Charge It, another big grade for Todd Pletcher.
Yeah, this horse has got incredible talent, Danny. Up till now, it's been kind of unrealized. He had that great race in the Dwyer last year. We're all waiting for him to put it together.
We certainly are, and the really cool Last Samurai for D. Wayne Lucas is our second choice.
Yeah, 2 in a row, going for 3. I mean, it's been really good in these 2. I mean, won the Razorback, won the Essex. Obviously loves it at Oaklawn Park.
And I always root for a Malibu Moon. That's who the great Clemens is by. Here's the call of the Oaklawn Handicap.
Stiletto Boy and Kent DeSormo lead the way to the backstretch here. It's only a half-length lead, and Classic Causeway is alongside him, and then nearly 2 lengths, and Charge It, being rated here by Luis Saez, settles in third with 3/4 of a mile to go. Last Samurai saves ground to the backstretch, and then to the outside comes Proxy. He's in the clear. He's a bit wide off the rail. He's racing in 5th. Then a gap of 4.5 or 5 back to Rated R Superstar and Senor Buscador as they continue to the half-mile marker here. And it's Stiletto Boy who went right to the front. He leads the way by a neck. And Classic Causeway, that multiple graded winner, right to the outside in second. Charge It is within range. He's racing in third. And now Proxy and Joel Rosario share the 4th spot with Last Samurai. Rosario is getting after Proxy. Last Samurai, Christian Torres on the inside, racing in 4th. Senor Buscador is splitting horses. Proxy is not responding much. They straighten away at the top of the stretch in the Oaklawn Handicap. And right on the inside, Last Samurai trying to move through. He brushed the rail. Here's Charge It moving up. Stiletto Boy still there. Some rough housing in the upper stretch. Meanwhile, Senor Buscador. Proxy is coming on the far outside. Here comes Proxy. Proxy and Joel Rosario rallying on the far outside.
And Proxy and Joel Rosario, I mean, they came flying on the outside. What a finisher Joel is.
He's the best there is. There's the only guy I can ever compare to him since I've been watching racing is Lafitte Pinkai. They're just so strong. They win all these photos. But yeah, Proxy looked like he has got no chance on the turn. He's dropping back. He's out of it. They always thought he had talent, the son of Tappet. Well, he put it together. This was a gigantic effort and got up on the last jump.
Yeah, the Godolphin Homebred got a nice win there for trainer Michael Stidham. Well, who's in the mood for some California sunshine?
Yay.
Let's get out there for the Californian. It's a grade 2, $200,000 going that mile and 1/8. And Defunded is our 1 to 5 favorite for trainer Bob Baffer.
Yeah, Defunded's on the rail. Danny looks like he's got the speed. He's been in against Stiletto Boy. He ran second to Art Collector in the Pegasus. Just on paper, he looks way the best.
And Royal Ship, our second choice, going back to the dirt from the turf.
Yeah, Royal Ship is a dirt horse, and he's won almost $700,000. It's a really good horse.
Yeah, for Papa Mandela. Here's track announcer Frank Miramati with the call of the Californian.
They swing onto the backstretch, and it's Midnight Mammoth. Leading the way by a half length, Mr. Impossible. Royal Ship kept in the clear, a comfortable third, just a length off the leader. Then comes Kiss Today Goodbye in 4th. Parnelli is 5th, 3.5 off the pace, and 2 more back to Defunded. They have a half-mile left to go in the Californian Stakes, and it's Midnight Mammoth, who's been there throughout, getting tested now by Royal Ship, who moves to engage second. Mr. Impossible back to third. Parnelli on the outside of Kiss Today Goodbye. And now Defunded is called on, and there he goes on the far outside. He's caught 4 wide as Defunded rallies all the way up to third. They're coming to the quarter pole. Midnight Mammoth and Royal Ship. Defunded looms up 3 wide. They're at the top of the stretch. Royal Ship puts his head in front. Defunded coming after him, and a very tough Midnight Mammoth running gamely. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go, and Defunded has now taken the lead and starts to edge away. A giant performance from Defunded.
And Defunded, what happened at the break was way back there, showed a different style, a new dimension of running, but came with the win.
Yeah, totally missed the break. That wasn't the strategy at all. Nobody was happy, but look, Juan Hernandez is a terrific young rider, and rather than freak out and panic and rush up there, he just took his time, steered the horse away from the dirt coming back at him, and he was just way the best horse. And sometimes that's all you got to do, give those best horses a chance to run. Defunted has now found a different way of winning. He's a pretty good horse. He looks like he's going to be a player in the handicap division this year.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I'd freak out.
Yeah.
I would go, ah!
I know, I get it.
Yeah, I would never
Especially
have the patience to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but at that point, that's the only thing you can do if
Yeah.
you're smart. But a lot of people are not smart, and they rush up and they get the horse cooked, and he finishes 5th, and everybody's angry. Everybody was happy.
That would be happening. But yeah, I heard Baffert say he went to plan not A, B, C, he went to D.
Plan D.
And it really worked out.
Yep.
Well, we're going to head to another break, but we have more coming up on the other side, our jockey and trainer of the week.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our Jockey and Trainer of the Week is brought to you by Turning for Home. That's our racehorse retirement program here at Parks. And congratulations to our Jockey of the Week, Luis Ocasio. He won the Eclipse Award many years ago as an apprentice rider. He had 3 wins on 3 mounts on Tuesday, and that's something he's never done before.
Perfect day.
Yeah, he was really good. And he said he was ready for a win. He hadn't had a win in April, so he's really excited to get back in the winner's
Might as
cycle.
well just get 3 in one day.
Exactly. He'll ride the hair off him, that's for sure. Well, let's get to our Trainer of the Week. Congratulations to Mike Moore. And Monday was a big day for his barn. They had 5 starts, 5 horses running, 2 wins, 2 seconds. That's a good day. And a stakes win.
Yeah, he's having another terrific year in 2023. And the big horse. That's right, our Turf Monster winner. He's on the comeback. We could see him potentially soon. They were going to run him down at Laurel. Of course, they're having issues at Laurel right now with their racetrack.
Well, I have to say, That's Right looks great. I see him on the track almost every morning. I saw him today, and he's looking good and ready to roll. Congratulations to the Mike Moore board. Well, let's get to a race recap. We're going to go to Keeneland in the Grade 3 Ben Ali, 300,000 going a mile and 3/16. And our buddy Rattle and Roll is way in the back there.
Yeah, that's where he comes from. Rattle and Roll is the 5. Skippy Longstocking, who we saw here in the PA Derby, is the 8-5 favorite. He just doesn't fire. Rattle and Roll is coming like Kenny McPeak horses always do. They come from the back, and he's going to win it pretty convincingly in the end.
Yeah, just like to point out is by Sire Connect, who won our Pennsylvania Derby, and jockey Brian Hernandez had 3 wins on the card on Keeneland. That's a pretty good feat with those good races.
Underrated, really good jockeys in the country.
Absolutely agree. Well, let's go to Oaklawn Park. It's the Bat House Row Stakes. This is a win and you're in for the Preakness. $200,000 going that mile and 1/8 for our 3-year-olds. Take it away.
Yeah, and Steve Asmussen is the trainer of Red Route 1, and yes, it's Joel Rosario, and yes, they're coming from way back. Are they really going to get there? Actually, they are. Rosario won all 3 stakes on Saturday at Oaklawn, all the same way, coming from the back. This gave Asmussen 868 Oaklawn Park winners. That makes him number 1 all time. And of course, he's got 10,000 in his career. He's number 1 there also.
Yeah, I want to point out Tappet Shoes ran a great race in second.
Yep.
Kent DeSormo on a Brad Cox horse.
There
That's
you go.
something you don't see a lot.
So,
I like it.
Yeah, so Red Route 1 can go in the Preakness should they desire.
It's time for Eye on Racing. A little bit of a quiet Saturday with the Kentucky
before the
Derby and the
Derby.
Oaks looming up, but some action out at Golden Gate Fields if you like it. I like it out there.
Golden Gate Fields is very cool. People that don't know where it is. It's in Berkeley. You can look at the back of it and see the Bay Bridge into San Francisco. It's one of the great places. San Francisco Mile this week, the way I have at Golden Gate Fields. Very
And
nice.
Golden Gate Fields has one of the best gift shops at any racetrack you will ever find.
There you go. If they
And
could
I
just
think-
get their timer right, but that's a whole other
Yeah,
story.
I think you can get a churro there too, which is pretty cool. Well, we're going to head to our final break, but we have a lot coming up in news and notes. We're going to talk about how you can own the flight line halter. One of our board members threw out a pitch at the Phillies game.
Dr. Appel with a strike at Citizens Bank Park.
Lots of really cool stuff coming up.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. News and notes for you, and Dick and I are going to preview a race coming up on Monday. It's race 11 with some really cool hard-knocking horses in it.
Yeah, it's horses haven't won a race in 6 months, 5,000 claimers, but just some really older kind of neat horses, including a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old. These 10 horses have 80 wins combined. Maybe they're not in their best form now, Danny, but they're still in good form, and you get to go first.
Awesome. I'm going to go with Dizzy Gillespie, coming from post 3 for Tony Perez Flores. He's going to get the really cool apprentice rider Jamie Torres, who we've seen doing really well up in New York.
Yeah, look, I think Dizzy Gillespie's the right horse. Consistent numbers in a race where there's not a lot of consistency. I'm going to try Our Good Time Charlie. Second race off a layoff, I think might have the speed to clear this field and should be a decent price for John McCaskey.
Well, Hall of Fame is back in action. They voted some amazing contenders in.
They did. The new class of the Hall of Fame was just announced the other day, and Corey Nakatani, who should have been in years ago, is finally in. Won almost 4,000 races, 341 graded stakes races, and 3 great horses, including 2 that ran here. California Chrome, of course, who won the 2014 Derby and Preakness, who ran here in the PA Derby. Songbird, who was just unbelievable for Rick Porter, won the cotillion here, and of course the great Arrogate, who had the great 4-race run as a 3-year-old into his 4-year-old season, all into the Hall of Fame. 16 finalists, 4 got in.
Yeah, just an outstanding class of horses and people. And one of our former board members, Dr. Steve Appel, threw out a pitch at a Phillies game, and I think he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I told him it was a strike. He said it was a little low and outside, but you can see I thought it was a pretty good pitch.
I think he did a really good job. Well, also, we have our Flightline halter that we're going to be auctioning off. You can go to our website at www.patha.org to buy a raffle ticket. We're also going to sell them in our golf outing Thursday, May 4th. And we're going to finish it out here on Kentucky Derby Saturday. We're going to have a table selling tickets. Don't miss out on this chance to own a piece of greatness.
Yeah, no question. Now a sire, but certainly one of the great horses we've ever seen in Flightline, and you could have his halter.
And the halter is beautiful and it smells great. But it's going to be a great day here Saturday.
Absolutely.
Lots of family fun. Of course, we're going to have live racing, and they're going to be showing the Kentucky Derby up on the big screen.
Let's hope so.
Absolutely.
Show the Derby.
Well, that wraps it up for Dick and I this week, but we are still racing here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Post time is 12:40. We had such a great show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Tama's got the lead now. It's Tama in the center of the racetrack, but Tama is drawing away. And Tama with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby.